enough to fill up a whole nother paper cone per se, but like you could probably do like a half one.
So I am out and about with my little brother. This man right here. Okay.
Taliban trick.
So so I'm trying to make sure I stick to my schedule on Monday at 7. So here we are. We're gonna be going back upstairs in a minute. But you know where we at, we can't
Drop locations.
okay.
Just know we somewhere included.
Right. That's how I'm like, just know, we downstairs and we upstairs. Don't worry about it. Alright, y'all. So I'm just waiting for a little more people to come in the room. I made the status and stuff. And I was more on time. I wasn't late at all. Y'all probably gonna jump on at 7:30 like, she be late.
That was actually a perfect time to shop. 7:30.
Oh, yeah, but I got Afro earrings, just to let y'all know. Let me do one of those. So I got my Afro earrings on. My sister got me those. I don't know where these came from. This came from, y'all guessed it, Walmart. Okay. Guess where these came from? Walmart. Oh, shit. My whole outfit came from Walmart. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. Don't know how you flip the screen. I don't know how you do that. I don't know where these came from, but these are MXs. And I got my Bessie Johnson socks on. Okay.
Yo.
What y'all know about that?
I still got to turn myself and motherfuckers so I need to throw
You used to be able to get cups.
There y'all. Well, we're going to talk about relationships with our families today and ourselves and loving ourselves, okay?
So it's sloppy, but it's not like as.
How do you guys love yourself and balance out your relationships with your family?
You should be a nut.
Hold on, someone gonna turn at the wheel. Damn, I
You all woke the girl.
forgot. Yeah.
I get the game.
Okay, I will stop by Pizzeria Portofino, and then if they say no,
What would you recommend from Pizza Arena?
See, and now I'm going back to my room. I'm going back to upstairs. Sometimes play with him. Embarrassing me. Yeah, so how would y'all define y'all relationship? Like, how would you define self-love and your relationship with your families? Like, can that coexist? Do that work together? Do you feel like there's two different entities? Like, I will be trying to figure that out. I'm just going back upstairs so I can talk with y'all, my peoples. I hope I don't glitch out since I'm on the elevator. We're not doing no details because we kind of keep people we just keep people undisclosed, you know what I mean? So yeah. Well, I wanted to wait before I got off the elevator just in case it glitched out. Well, for me, I feel like self-love, like the balance of. See, I knew it was gonna do something crazy. So I feel like the balance of self-love and the balance in your family relationships, I feel like the only way to balance it is really to be respectful at all times. But sometimes we learn that, as we get older, we have to not demand our respect, but ask for it respectfully. Like, I don't want y'all saying that y'all watched my live and I said go to tell your families y'all got me effed up and respect me. You know, no, you don't need to do that. But at some point, if you know that you've been dealing with certain stuff with your family members and
Hey Siri.
you haven't been,
Oh, okay, Siri. Hey Alexa, that's like the one. Hey Alexa, play
why?
meditation music.
Why?
It's nice.
No.
Playing Spa Station from
I didn't ask for that.
I apologize.
Like, come on. We just talked about this. And then what if they cut me off? You know they pay.
Alexa, stop that shit.
That was
Oh
a
my
good
God.
catch.
See, this is why I wasn't gonna go live.
Good.
I ain't got time for this anyway. Ain't nobody watching anyway. This gonna be all in the playback.
Right, this is like the
But-
blooper reel after.
Oh, we live, so whatever happens is what happens. So,
Oh, that's what I meant. Like,
That's
there's
a blunt.
yeah, if you,
word.
That's a blunt. You got a blunt.
if you feel like it's a lot that's been going on in your family that you haven't been enjoying, it's okay to speak up and say, like, you know, I don't like how you guys talk to me. Like, I know that you guys are joking, but that actually makes me feel sad, or that makes me feel bad, or, you know, like how many of us skinnier young women kind of grew up with a little complex because you grew up being called skinny mini, or, sorry, I'm snacking. You grew up being called skinny mini, or, girl, you need more than a salad, or, girl, you gonna wither away. And you're like literally trying to work out and not wither away. You know what I mean? Like, it's certain things that we do unconsciously as family members that we just grew up doing.
That's facts. That's really true.
Tastes a little better when it's melted. But anyway,
It works a little bit hotter than 66.
we don't realize that there's certain things that we didn't enjoy. And I'm not saying go back to your aunties and uncles and be like, you scarred me, you gave me trauma. Even if it's not a conversation worth having, you can go back to the moment where you may have, like I said in the last video, talking about going through your shadow work, and I'm gonna do a whole video on shadow work. I've been being lazy and haven't been doing all the stuff I said I was gonna do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the meditation. I'm definitely getting on top of eating it. Not eating. I'm definitely gonna get on top of doing the shadow work video. But just like when you do your shadow work, you can do your shadow work about your family. A lot of times, a lot of our shadow work is through the relationships in our family and healing the traumas and the relationships that we have held on to and maybe looked at even through rose-colored glasses. Like, how many of us have like the big cousins and the aunties and uncles that been out here player, and you know you realize that some of your bad dating traits come from watching them growing up, and you realize that a lot of the stuff that you thought was player and a lot of stuff that you thought was putting you on the map really wasn't so nice, or really wasn't the way you wanted to be, but that's what you grew up watching. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go and make your auntie and your uncle accountable for the actions they chose to live their life. You just go and you realize that, okay, maybe I haven't been treating, just like when I was talking to Peace God, when he said he was able to look back over his life and how he was dating. He said he could honestly say that he hasn't been the best to women. He hasn't treated women the best ways. He haven't been dating in the best ways, and he has learned that from coming up and watching older male family members or older male role models. You know, so you have to give yourself one grace once you realize that, okay, this is learned behavior. So once you realize this is behavior that you learn, you have to unlearn it. So just think about it. If we are 31 years old, in our 30s, late 20s, realizing that this behavior started when we were children, think about how long it took you to learn that behavior. So if you learned that behavior in 20 years, it's going to take you time to think a new thought and be a new person and think a new thing. So give yourself grace, forgive yourself, and just do better. You know what I mean? Catch yourself when you falling, going the opposite way.
Facts.
So it's no point, with me and my cousins, and I just talked to my cousin about it, so I feel definitely comfortable enough to talk about it, but we don't need to talk about it. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like me and my cousins, we're in a different tiers. My mom is the baby of a lot of siblings, but they were her oldest is probably 20 years older than her almost. So my oldest auntie, my oldest cousin is almost auntie age. You know what I mean? She grew up with my mom and her siblings. So it almost would be a struggle with, are you an auntie or are you a cousin? You know what I mean? And then, I got other cousins that are around that age, and it would be kind of a struggle with that. And for me, it's just when I hear the word cousin, it's cousin. You know what I mean? You damn near a sibling. I'm talking to you I'm talking to, unless you're my mother's cousin, I don't see the point of talking to you any type of way. And, the struggle and the push and pull with that, and the boundary of, especially by the time I'm grown, the boundary of, I'm grown and you gonna respect me and I respect you. Can you turn that light up on me? That one.
I used to turn the light off, and I was like,
on, because I realized I didn't have that much okay, there we go, that's better. Yeah, so with just realizing that, I made my stance. Now, I mean, I'm sure it could have came out better. And what y'all know me, if I feel disrespected, depending on how I feel in that moment, is how it's gonna come out. But for me, my stance was, this is how I feel. Especially when it came last year, when I feel like my ancestors have been biting at me and telling me to get it together. Okay? So, my stance was, I love you, and I will always love you, but this is how I not demand, but this is how I require to be respected. This is how I require to be loved. And if this is not plausible for you, if this is not something you can do, then that's fine. Nothing against you, but I have to stay over here and mind my business, and, we can stay over there. And just the conversations that I've been having, and I've been seeing my cousins and all of us been having with each other back and forth, it has just been, I told my little cousin, but I feel like it's been a miracle. I feel like it's been something that I prayed for, that maybe God told me could happen, or maybe my ancestors told me we could get to, but I just didn't believe it would be something. It's just the healing of each other, and the fact that each other, if we never even healed relationships, it's the fact that everybody in their own way is healing their own traumas and their own problems and their own
you're probably gonna need a course for that one.
Everything. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Trying to do her thing.
Probably, yeah.
She's
yeah.
trying to do her thing right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't make her
Thank
push
you.
out.
I probably needed it, she does.
I'm just gonna drink some water.
You doing great though.
Thank you. Oh, you paying attention?
Yeah.
I could be on this, doing this thing. But a lot of times, like, I always told everybody, and this is what I told my family too, because you have to be honest, especially when you are being honest with yourself and you're being accountable. Now, I may not have told everybody, but this is on social media now, so whoever didn't get told this, you're going to hear it now. But I've had anxiety since I was a child. And I don't mean like teenager. I mean like 11. I remember I had a whole breakdown in my kitchen. And I was like maybe 11 or 12. You know what I mean? Like, everything was so overwhelming in that moment. Like, so everybody called me over dramatic. I was a brat or stuff like that. But it would just be, I would be so private about how I felt because I was always concerned about being judged about how I felt. Even though I'm a kid, but if I don't articulate it right, then I'm not talking right. So then I got to make sure that I'm saying the right words and I'm articulating everything that I need to get it out from my parents to make sure that, because when I was younger, sometimes being corrected, not saying that that's a bad thing. I always correct your kids. You don't want them saying, but sometimes being corrected, as y'all can see, I'm like a person who could get distracted quick. It would distract me, and I would lose my train of thought and all kind of stuff, and then I would just give up on trying to talk. So that's not for everybody, but that's just if you do have a kid that is hard for them to concentrate. Sometimes you want to like correct them and let them keep going, but you don't want to like keep getting on top of them, because if they really try to say something, especially if they one of those kids that's like, Mom, let me tell you something, Mom. They one of them kids that's thinking like that. Like, let them get it out, and then, you know, that's just if you have kids like that, though. So, for me, I just didn't want to say anything, and to the point where I would be so overwhelmed, and then my parents would be like, well, what's wrong? And then I'll break down, or I'm screaming, or I'm just, like, so aggravated because I feel like I'm at the point where, no one's listening to me. Like, I literally had to catch myself, and that's even a part of my shadow work. I had to realize, like, why do I get to the point where I'm screaming at people? Because I get to the point where I've even felt as a child, like, if you don't hear me when I'm asking, if you don't hear me when I'm being polite, if you don't hear me when I'm being respectful, then maybe if I get disrespectful, maybe if I start screaming, maybe if I curse, maybe if I kick, maybe if I scream, maybe if I punch the wall, then y'all will listen to me. Like, I'm screaming, I'm hurting, I need help, I don't know what's going on, and no one's listening to me. Like, but I'm a kid, so I don't realize that I'm not saying I'm going through things that I don't understand. Right? So, at this ripe age now, I still get to the point where I have to catch myself. If I repeat myself more than once, it's either I'm shutting down or it's going to be the other side. Because that's either the Virgo is going to be like, you know what? I've said enough. Don't worry about it. Or that Sagittarius moon is going to come in and it's going to be like, listen, I said it once, I said it twice. If I say it thrice, we're about to go crazy. You know what I mean? So I always have to, it's always that inward battle, because my biggest thing is what? I don't beg and I don't repeat myself. We ain't got time for that. Sis, we ain't got time for that. Because what you repeating yourself for? They heard you the first time and the second. And I guarantee you that third time, baby, they sick of hearing you. Oh, okay, they ain't gonna do it. So, and I learned that with humans, that's not who you dating. That's what your man, your mammy, your mama, your man, your daddy, your grandmama, your kids, the person at the job, your barber, all of them. You told your barber, don't push your hairline back every time you sit in his seat. And what he keep doing every time you sit in his seat, push your hairline back. He heard you that first time you sat down.
And you pay him to do it.
You hear me?
So that's the issue.
Stop repeating yourself. It's just like that. You know, if I gotta come to where y'all gonna understand me, cause y'all know y'all told Keisha you don't like glue on your edges, but you really want that lace front. You could get that without glue on your edges. Listen, we can't help that we was born like this. Cause sometimes, sis, I don't even need it. Just give me the one that I can just hold it like that. Cause I got my own edges. You know what I mean? But if you said don't do that, you said don't do that. But sis keep putting that glue on your edges. She heard you the first time. If y'all ain't gonna hear me, if I gotta come to where y'all gonna hear me, you know what I mean? Cause you told sis you only like gel. You don't want no acrylic, but you see all that fucking powder up in there. That ain't. I told y'all ain't no powder gel. Now, it might be a new product out here. You know, I always say that. It's ever changing. It's always something new. So it could be something new, but you got acrylic gel. You did not get gel. You hear what I'm saying? You see how that work? I need y'all to understand, as much as you'll go hard in that chair for your nails and for your hair, for your hairline, I need y'all to go that hard with your family. Shit, as much as you would go with Keisha, your good girlfriend from grammar school, as hard as you will go with Darian, who you been dating for like 9 months and he been playing with you lately, like, you gotta do that with your family, y'all. Like, it even sound crazy when I say it. Like, who? With your family? Yes, with your family. It's hard. It's scary. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I ain't gonna tell y'all that I've been sitting there talking to my grown cousins, which I'm grown, but damn near 50, telling them, I said, y'all ain't gonna talk to me how y'all want to. Y'all think I ain't sitting there talking about something? Yeah, y'all think I ain't on the inside like, could you please just not talk to me like that anymore? It diminishes my character and myself and how I feel. You think that's not how I'm on the inside saying it? Yes, that's how I'm saying on the inside. But they don't hear me when I say it like that. They feel like I'm being a brat and I'm whining. Well, then let me bug the hell up. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you have to get to that point, and sometimes you don't. And it just depends on where you and your family is, because the main goal is to be heard, and the main goal is to be understood. The main goal is to come to a common ground. You don't want to be yelling. You don't want to be in a yell match. You don't want to be like, yeah, and I told them. And there is no rhyme or reason to walk away feeling vilified that you gave somebody, you told somebody about themselves. You know what I mean? Because that's not what the goal is. The goal is to come to an understanding. I want y'all to understand that all of our ancestors are looking at us like we crazy. All of us who got cousins that we can sit there and be like, I can take her or leave her. Because I'm that cousin. You can ask all my cousins, baby. Honey, where Marissa been? Where Rissy at? Oh, girl, well, you know Rissy. Baby, they can say it. Because I've been at my house minding good old business, okay? Sitting, chilling with her and talking to God and these ancestors and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with a business and doing whatever I need to do. What? Yes, that's what I've been doing. I've been minding my business. But I've been minding my business, cultivating me, so that when I go back and stand my ground on the boundaries I asked for, I can be the woman that I asked for the boundaries for. I can't sit here and be disrespecting them, talking crazy, doing all this shit, but then they gonna respect me and they gonna wait. If I'm gonna be telling you you're gonna respect me and talk to me like a woman of character, I have to step up as a woman of character. Just like you gonna tell when we talk about these friends. When you tell your friends you need to step up to me as a woman of character, as a man of character, you need to be stepping up to them like that. When we gonna talk about parents. On Wednesday, well, I got somebody. We gonna talk about cousins.
She's like, not you.
And we gonna talk about we're gonna talk about a lot more about family. But I'm definitely talking about parents this week. Grown adult relationships and how as adults in our generation, how are we relating to our children?
You just gotta take it on.
Y'all children, however you want to call it, ma'am. But yeah, you have to let them know, like, hurting on the inside to save your relationship with your family on the outside only hurts your relationship on the outside, because the resentment that you create, that you swear you don't have, that you actually have, is just growing, and it grows and it grows. And then when they do something as like, oversleep picking you up for your doctor's appointment. I've been doing all this stuff all my life. I've been taking care of her. We've been sitting there. Now you sitting here talking about when 1982, y'all got into this little scuffle with the little boys in kindergarten, and you sat there and beat all the little boys up for her, and y'all sitting here 45 years old, and she missed your doctor's appointment. Because you never told your cousin that it was some stuff that she was doing that you didn't like. And y'all be sitting here holding on, and I did, and I did, and I did, and I did. When all what you really are saying, because this is when we get to understanding how we feel and understanding our actual emotions. When what you're saying is, I feel disrespected and I feel betrayed because I feel like I have given you everything and you have given me back nothing. Not I giving you and I've been there for you. That's not what you really saying. You're not giving them a list. I hope you're not. What you really are saying is I'm hurt. Because how dare you? How could you? I gave you fucking blood from a goddamn turnip. And you sat there and told me that you couldn't cut this chicken and make it into chicken nuggets. How dare you? It was simple. How do you just cut it? But I gave you blood from a turnip. You can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how you get in your mind. So then you sit there and you feel like they owe you something. They did this to you and they did that. And you victimize yourself and let them victimize you, and you're not a victim. In the first place, they almost a victim because they got something going on. When you're ungrateful, you got something going on. And we all can say we've been ungrateful, and we all can pinpoint times when we've been ungrateful. We've been ungrateful with people's time. We have been ungrateful with people's money. We have been ungrateful with people's love. We have been ungrateful with people's support. We have been ungrateful with people's appreciation. We have been ungrateful just with ourselves. We have been ungrateful with ourselves. Do you know how powerful you guys are? We walk around with our heads down. Well, I walk around with my head down because I trip over the ground. That's a whole different thing. But they walk around with their head down on purpose. Like in real life. Like people sit there and, oh, I'm just a little bit. You get ever seen people who sit there, I can't sing. And then they'll sit there and sing and rock back and forth and sound like the girl, like it's Sister Act 2 or something. Like, this voice is only for Jesus. Like they have one of them voices, and you just sitting there like, girl, with your child. That's how a lot of y'all doing yourselves. It's a lot of us just walking around, knowing how powerful we are, but we just walk and smile like, I'm just a little power. I'm just a little star in the big old sky. In the big old sky. That's me. That's being ungrateful for your own self. Imagine if you woke up every day, I'm grateful for me, I'm grateful for life, I'm grateful for God, I'm grateful for what you gave me, even if you live in a matchbox. And people been in my house is just, well, it's overcrowded now, but it's small. That's why it's overcrowded now, because it's very easy to overcrowd my house. It's very tiny. But I'm grateful for it every morning I wake up, because I wake up in my bed. Mine. I walk under my roof. When I get up, after I get done sleeping naked in my bed, because I can, because that's my business, I put on my robe. I don't have to put on clothes to walk into my bathroom. I put on a robe, and I go in my bathroom. You know why? Because that's my business, and I can. Because that's my address. That's a blessing. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I have problems where I get myself overwhelmed when I'm about to clean up. So my house is overwhelming with stuff. Okay? So I could be very unappreciative. I could be upset. I could diminish myself every day that I could. And I have. Ooh. But what does that do for me every day I get up there?
That's why.
Because then I beat myself up. I don't get nothing done.
It's okay. Just come
Or I'm grateful that I'm here and I got the overwhelming amount of clothes that I need to put away. I got the overwhelmingly amount of accessories that I need to figure out how to how to organize and how to make my little house and stuff like that. You know, the one thing I can say I have a gift in that I am being ungrateful and not using is I can organize very small spaces. I know how to move stuff around like Tetris in my mind. I know how to buy certain things that can. I already figured I could buy the hanger drop down things for my closet because I got a lot of. If y'all saw, I got a lot of clothes. Answer.
Let them know there's something going on right now, bro.
Should I pause it? Can you pause live?
You can, but don't pause.
Can you
Continue
pause?
doing what you're doing.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like it takes work to get up every day to say today is the day that I'm gonna take care of my business. Today is the day my business need a business number. I need to get a business number. I haven't still got my taxes together, but I found all the paperwork that I could get together. So now all I gotta do is get all the other paperwork I need from the IRS. Like, that's literally taking steps. It sounds crazy. It sounds procrastinated. I know. But we are all at a stage of the wrong comment could put you back mentally. And the wrong comment could put you back mentally with yourself. Some people, they always say, well, you know, if my uncle never discouraged me, or if my auntie never discouraged me, if my mom never discouraged me. Sometimes it's in those moments that we should take off that we discourage ourselves. And that inner voice will talk to us and tell us, oh, you shouldn't do that, or you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't do that. I mean, I am wholeheartedly, I don't know what it is about that good old Facebook, but I am not going live on there. Even when I try to go live, like something happens. Like I want to go live. I was going to do a surprise. I was going to do a surprise live on Facebook yesterday. And life just was like sliding by fast and slow, fast and loose. Like I couldn't even get my whole life together. I don't know. I couldn't even get my thoughts. Like I wrote down everything I wanted to talk about. I had my set up everything to do the shadow work videos, everything. And I never got anything done.
Yeah.
Oh, see you later.
It's nice to meet you. Actually.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
It's okay. Thank you.
You had a flow going, and I was just like, I've talked too much already.
It's okay.
Alright, bro.
Yeah.
Drink me some water.
If you guys are like, you know, maybe like 10, 11, if y'all are still up, I'll let you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna text you anyway. All right. You good?
Yeah, I mean, I know I make it sound like it's just easy. You just wake up and you could do this stuff. Like, y'all, if y'all know how much I love my family, if y'all know how much I went through my life just wanting to feel like I fit in with them and I belong, right? But then I never said that. I never told them that. So then how would they know that I felt like that, you know? And then I took that through relationships and through friendships and through going to work. You know, every time I would go to work and I don't like make friends in the first like 5 days, I'm just like, oh my God, no one likes me. I don't fit in here. I don't belong. I'm going to find me a new job. And then it's just like, you didn't come here to fit in, girl. If you don't go get your job together and go, you know what I mean? So just understanding that, like, I'm telling y'all, like, everything I'm saying, this is shadow work. This is understanding. I didn't have to tell them, like, I didn't tell them then. I don't have to tell them that now. If I still feel like I want to be and I want to belong, then yeah. But I don't have to tell them that now. I can heal that. I can forgive myself for wanting to belong. And I can forgive them for making me feel like that because we were teenagers. They were teenagers when I was a child, like a child, single digit, you know? Like I used to beg my cousin to play dolls with me, and she was like 16 years old. She was like, I'm grown, I can't play with dolls. She didn't say it like that, but she definitely hit me with the, I'm grown, I don't play with dolls. And she was 16, so, honey. And then me and my sister was 6 years apart. So it was only so long that she was going to play with dolls with me. So it was me. And I definitely don't regret my mother not having a sibling. I used to, I always say we need a third sibling. That would help. That would help a lot. But I don't feel like my life is deterred because I didn't get that extra sibling, or I didn't have the other sibling to grow up with. Because me and my sister grew up together. That's why it's a lot of stuff when people say, oh, that's too old for you. You know what I mean? I grew up with my sister. And my sister was listening to stuff that my mom was listening to. You know what I mean? She was listening to stuff that her mom was. You know what I mean? So we well-rounded over here. But it's all about just releasing the old and coming into the new. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like, first of all, y'all know how I feel about woke niggas, and you know, that's what we call them, woke niggas. Y'all know how I feel about them. Call them hotep men and all that. Hotep women, because we don't... So, once you become aware of what's going on around you, you become more aware of your internal thoughts and your internal feelings and how that makes you feel. You're able to talk with your family. I guarantee you one thing: once you start this spiritual journey, your ancestors are not going to allow you to sit there in their face and beg for all this, and beef with your cousins, your aunties, your uncles. You're not going to be able to just sit here and be like, oh, I don't like so and so, and we don't never gonna talk again. Your family ain't having it. So you need to continue to work. As you work and grow, it's gonna happen, whether you want it to or not. As you continue to grow, and if you're a person like me, I don't want nobody around me who ain't supposed to be here, period. So I've been really focusing my energy on that and releasing anybody from around me who shouldn't be here, and thanking God and thanking my ancestors for genuine connections and people who are really meant to be here with me through this journey, you know. And people have been falling by the wayside, and a lot of my family connections have been really getting stronger, and it's a blessing to me. But I feel like a lot of us start this journey with saying that, and some of our cousins take that long walk. And it's okay. I'm here to tell you, I would not think that my cousins and I would be where we are now. This time last year. Just this time last year. And we were trying this time last year. But the way I feel and the love I feel from my family this time, this year, in this moment, is totally different. It's not forced. It's not like we confused or we uncomfortable around each other. Like, we just know, like, that's my cousin. That's my bro cousin. That's my sister cousin. That's, you know, period. No matter what, we still gonna be family. And to hear me say that, y'all know that's big. But no matter what, we still gonna be family. I'm related to y'all whether I want to be or not. Now, whether I see you or not is my choice. Now, Marissa always promote that. It's your choice whether you want to be with your family, be your family face. You don't have to give your time to people who abuse it. You don't have to give it to people who misuse it. You do not have to give it to people who hurt you just because y'all got the same blood running through y'all veins. Because let me tell you what love feels like. No matter if you're related or not, it don't feel like that. It don't feel like that. Those abuse help hotlines, it don't feel like that. That's not what love is. And that's not being fantastical. That's not thinking fantasy wise. That's not being an asshole and a brat. We are not our elders. We will talk to them differently. You did not earn the right to disrespect me. You lived your life, Hattie Mae. Hattie, you got up and you pressed that alarm clock at 5 a.m. before the sun even was up, honey. And you cooked them kids breakfast. You cooked that man breakfast, and you ironed his shirt, and you let that man come home and cuss you out. Maybe you didn't. I don't know, because I don't want to make it negative. It's, you know, everybody had their own story. But everybody had their own thing. Maybe you went to work. You did all that, and then you went to work. And then you came home and you fed them kids. You fed that man. And then You went to bed and did it all over again, right? So now you 80 years old and you had a hard knock life. Guess who you still gotta respect? Me. Guess who didn't even know your damn story before you walked up to me? Me. I am not accountable for that story. So you didn't earn the right to disrespect me because you lived Hattie Mae's life. Marissa deserves all the respect that you deserve because I am grown. Not even grown. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I have breath in my nostrils. I am a human being. I'm a spiritual being in this body, in this meat suit, just like you are. Now you have a different life. You have walked longer. So homage and honor to you. But you did not deserve to disrespect me and I just sit here like, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. You in my business, I'm going to allow you the grace and say, well, I don't feel like talking about that. That's the, oh, why you want to, because this is my business. Nah, I gave you a couple hours that everybody know I would talk around. But if I got to get nicey, sis will. Because we got, no. Because it's a whole new generation of everybody, of every age bracket. There's a new generation of our generation, but there's a new generation of the 60s and up, 80s and up, 50s and up. Everybody just earned the right to be an old hag. Now y'all out here looking like those babies at 50, but then you also want me to talk to you like an elder at the same time, sis. How? Baby, the 60-year-olds I grew up with walked with canes and they bent over. Like, you ain't gonna sit here and play with me. Y'all out here sitting here trying to do the stanky leg too. Y'all out here trying to do the wobble and and then you gonna sit here shake that ass with me to Cash Money taking it out for the 99 and the 2000s, right? But then you also gonna tell me to talk to you, put some respect on your name. Now, girl. You can't do that. We don't work like that. I just want y'all to be like, I don't want y'all to start bugging up on y'all aunties. I don't want y'all to start bugging up on y'all grandmamas and y'all uncles, and I don't, you know what I mean? Y'all mamas and y'all daddies talking about, yeah, you know, I watched Marissa video and she said it's time to stand up. It's time to take a stand. I'm not gonna lie. It is time to say, I love you. And y'all can listen, and I'm not talking nothing. I'm not talking the side of my neck. You can ask my friends, you can confirm. They probably ain't all been there, but you can ask my parents. I have respectfully said, I love you all, but y'all both have children in the age of 30 and up. It's time for y'all to respectfully talk to us like that. Like, y'all didn't allow y'all parents to disrespect y'all, and y'all was younger than us and married. By the time y'all was our age, y'all was divorced with 2 kids. Y'all wasn't letting y'all parents talk to y'all crazy. Like, why are y'all allowing us to do the same? And furthermore, and I don't know how it comes off, you know, to y'all parents, but, and I mean, I'm sure it came off dramatic at first when I first did it, but I really wanted them to understand, like, for me, it hurts my feelings to know that, you know that I feel that behavior is disrespectful. You know that I feel like you're talking down at me. You're talking at me. You're not respecting me. So at this point, you know you're disrespecting me. But you're disrespecting me knowing you're my parent. So you're knowingly disrespecting me. And you're doing it because you gave me life that I didn't ask you to do. Like, I didn't ask to be here. So why did I earn the right when you brought me here for you to disrespect me? And furthermore, that's abuse. You got it. That's abuse. That's verbal abuse. That's mental abuse. You are knowingly, when you are knowingly hurting someone, when you are knowingly disrespecting somebody, oh my God, when you are bypassing the fact that you are actually disrespecting somebody, you are, that's mental abuse. Because you're abusing that person. You know you're wrong. And you're just going to do it anyway. Your behavior is not right. And you're just like, oh, it's okay. She'll get over it. So then it's for me to work through my own trauma. Like, so then I got to figure it out and sit with myself and continue to work with myself and continue to talk with myself and continue to brush it off of my shoulders and continue to make sure my blood pressure isn't up and continue to sit there and feel unsupported and all this other stuff just to make sure you feel good enough as my parent that you can run the show in my grown life. Because is my grown parent being able to say that they run the show in my grown life that I pay for, that I struggle in, is that worth me not telling them that I actually matter and you have to respect me and this is how I need you to talk to me and these are my boundaries? But then also again, am I stepping to my parents as the woman that I'm asking to be respected? Am I respecting my parents? Am I sitting here at grown as fuck robbing my parents? Because that's what we doing when we in our 30s at this point. I mean, take a little, I still, take my daddy change when I come back from the store or something like that. You know what I mean? That's my daddy. But like, if you sitting there like you the middleman and you keep like an extra like $100 for yourself, hey bro, you just robbed your whole parents. Are we living life like that? And then somebody say, mama, you gonna respect me. You sitting there living on their couch and they still buying you Cocoa Puffs because that's your favorite cereal. And you haven't worked since 3 years before the pandemic. You know what I mean? And then you want to sit there, you gonna respect me, plus I respect my authority. Are we that type of child? Or are we just doing our own shit, man, and our own business, just saying, hold up. I love you, I honor you, I respect you, but what you can't do is, not even what you can't do, what I need for you to do is, and this is my boundary, and then stick with your boundary, because then you'll sit there and be like, oh, well, they was just having a bad day. Oh, well, you know what, you was having a bad day, and I understand, but it ain't me. Hey, mama, it ain't me. I'm sorry. Baby, I'm quick. She's sorry. Oh, she was so sorry. I'm quick with, if I feel like somebody is like so agitated to where like the energy is on me, or I feel like they like barking in my face or something, you know how like your friends, they be like, yeah girl, you see what I'm saying? You be like, wait, what girl? It wasn't me, sis. It wasn't me. We all get offended, but it's okay because it bring them back to think about like, wait, was I tee up? You know what I mean? Like, if anybody know, I got my winter tan. I'm a little light skinned right now. But when I got my winter tan on and I get upset, y'all know how I get, rosy all right here. And so I don't need to be telling everybody my little moves and getting all crazy and stuff. No. You got to be worth it. Like I tell people all the time, I got on this journey. What honestly started me on this journey was when I was like 23, my back went out. I've been on a self-love and a spiritual journey since I was like at least 23, 24. Because my body literally will not allow me to be sad. Well, it will, but it definitely don't allow anger. Anger, regret, envy, all that. My body, and all sadness, because my acid reflux will go crazy. I won't even be able to eat. When I was depressed, baby, I couldn't eat nothing. When I sit there and get all upset and argue and all that stuff, I can't eat nothing. I damn near be eating salads. And then I got to cook them because I can't eat my fruit and my vegetables too fresh. I'm peeling my fruit. All kind of stuff. And then why the fuck would somebody else be that damn important? You see what I'm saying? Like, I have a fail-safe trigger in my body. My body don't like not being one. It don't like not being grounded. It don't like not being whole. It don't like that. You know what I mean? So once it's out of balance, once it's not whole, it goes out of wire. And then that means I gave that power and that honor. Okay? Because it's an honor to get my power. So I gave the honor to somebody who didn't even deserve my fucking scraps. How? Now, I mean, my family ain't never that bad to where I could say they ain't deserve my fucking scraps. You know what I mean? But you know, it's people out here who got family that y'all need to release. I'm not giving my family as an expert. You know, we healing our traumas and we moving forward. But it's some of y'all, and I done heard stories. Some of y'all got family that y'all need to release until they can come into themselves. And I promise you, now that I can honestly say, from last year to this year, once you release them, baby, when I tell you, somebody asked me, how do you get beyond depression on your own? I told them, baby, I gave it up. I said, whoever I'm into it with, whoever done hurt me, whoever I'm upset about, whoever I don't even realize I'm still upset about, you got to take it, because I can't hold on to it. Let them go. They gonna come back. They your family. You have no options. When I tell you, you want to get rid of them, you want to get away from them, and you will. Some of you will. They coming back. Because when you love yourself and you change yourself and you work with yourself, it almost even propels your family to want to do it. You know what I mean? So once you honor your ancestors and you move the way they asked you to, first of all, they're going to heal that family. So if you got to let them go to heal yourself, we can't always heal in front of the people who hurt us, even if they didn't mean to. We got cousins who have hurt us that we was children all at the same time. So we done traumatized a child and traumatized another child, and we all traumatized, and we all grew up and thought we was over it. Now ain't nobody over it, and we all still traumatized, and we was all children. So who to blame? Nobody. You let it go and you forgive each other and you keep on moving. But you can't do that if you can't heal in front of them. If you literally cannot heal in front of that person, that uncle, that cousin, that grandma, that granddaddy, that family friend, if you cannot heal in front of them, you have the right and you give yourself that grace to say, I can't heal in front of you, but I appreciate you. I love you, I forgive you. And I need to work on me a little bit to be able to forgive you in your face every time I see you. You have that right. Stop giving your rights away because y'all related. Stop giving your rights away because y'all grew up together. Stop giving your rights away because they was there in the thicket with you. Because I'm talking about, when I say family, I mean family. Like, my stepsister, if I felt like there was something that they did when we grew up, I'm talking to my stepsister about it. Because that was my sister. That's my sister now. Our parents aren't together anymore. So that's my sister. So I mean, whoever you calling family. My best friend is my sister and my best friend.
Hey, he said, Blaze Pizza.
Because that's who's in my circle. Because who are you surrounding yourself with? I know the person I have coming on, he surrounds himself with nobody but family. Period. Like, he got friends, but who you see him rolling with is his family. His family, his homies. So that's who you surrounding yourself with. And you got a couple little friends here and there that you need to address them too. This is the whole thing, you know. You can't let people, we let people who are the closest to us, who are the most tangible to us, play with us the most. Yeah. It's okay. My grandmama told us we a whole goddamn gang, period. She told us, I'll bust your head if one come in with their head busted and they ain't everybody's head better be busted. If I don't hear that, Granny, we did that. If I don't hear that, then everybody getting their head busted. Because how one didn't jump. If one jump, I'll jump. If some girls on your cousin, then y'all should be on your cousins. And some boys messing with the girls, I expect y'all to handle it. This is how we were raised. We were raised to be like a legit gang. You hear what I'm saying? So it's okay to understand. It's okay to feel like you losing something. It's okay to feel like you losing a sibling. It's okay to feel like, because remember, we don't lose a soul. God rearranges everybody to be where they need to be every part of your journey. It's okay to rearrange your cousins. It's okay. I know it's hard. We love our cousins. Oh my God. It's okay to rearrange them. It's okay to rearrange that favorite auntie. That she your favorite, but you might be a little bit more her favorite than the other way around. She may always treat you nice, but she may talk to you really fucking crazy, and you fed up with it. It's okay to say, you know what, auntie, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's not fun. That don't make me feel good. It's okay. And it's okay to step back. You know what I mean? You have that right. It's okay. So you just have to love yourself enough to know that I feel uncomfortable in this situation. And my love for my family will never change. But the love for myself must change. And the love for myself must be a priority over my love for my family. Because, and I know it sounds scary to say they'll always be there, because sometimes we have those instances where we lose our family. You will never not love your family. You will never stop loving your family, but you got to be here for you. Because if you always sitting there road dogging it with your cousin, when your cousin is out of here, the grief that you go through is not going to be the grief that you could have been through when you were already healed. Because you're going to have grief and resentment, and that resentment is going to be different. It's going to be things that you feel that's going to make you angry. It's going to be things that you could have gotten off your chest that you could have, that you probably should have said to that person before they died. You know what I mean? Because there's also that too. Sometimes it's not that we don't speak to, we take too long to speak. It's sometimes when we speak to, we need to stop taking so long to say something. If your cousins or if your family members are making you feel bad, say something. Now, if after saying something, you know it's not, then do what you have to do. Because be in that moment. Be okay with knowing that you said everything you had to say. So if today was the day that you couldn't say nothing else, you said everything you had to say so you could be at peace. And if you can't walk away knowing that, then you fight for your family. But I guarantee you one thing. I want you to always know this. You can never make humans do anything, especially a grown one. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? Oh yeah. You can't change people. People want to have to change for themselves. So always know, even family members, you could pray them to love on you. You could do all you want to do. You can manifest that love. Do whatever you got to do, baby. But you got to work on loving you first. Be the woman or the man of the quality of the person that you're asking to be respected. And then love yourself. Because they probably talking to you crazy because you talk to yourself crazy. I could be that person. But I also can say that I learned how to talk to myself from my family members. The diminishing talk and why you ain't doing it, you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that, that's learned behavior as well. But once I can stop talking down to myself, then I know how to allow myself to say I don't allow myself to talk like that, so you can't talk to me like that. And you can stand in it. And if anybody don't want me to say that to them, if no one could respect that, then that's the person that's not supposed to be around me. And if they never can respect that, then I can respectfully say, if in this moment, this is my last moment with you, I love you and I send you with your peace. And I'll be at peace with you. And then every time I see you, oh, thank God I got to see you one more again. You hear what I'm saying? Because we're not going to keep doing that. We don't let people run rent free in our minds even because they related to us. We don't play like that. It's okay. It's okay to love yourself. It is loving yourself. That's not being a brat. That's not being selfish. And even if it is, it's okay to be selfish when it comes to saving your life. Because saving your peace is saving your life. We walk around here as zombies when we're not taking care of our mental. Zombies. It's people who can sit there and say, I can say I walked out of whole depression and didn't even realize I was depressed for 6 months. It's people who are walking around thinking that this is normal. We have been conditioned from generations of depression that depression is normal. You're supposed to work yourself into a grave. That's actually depression behavior. Because now we ain't in a depression. There are jobs to be had. There are hours to be made. There's money to be made. There's money that's out there. So you don't need to work yourself to death. You don't need to give your life to your job. You don't need to put your job over your kids. This is what we were trained to do as children. From a depressive from a depressive state of mind. You see what I'm saying? So it's okay to let go of an old thought to move into a new way, because no matter if we're still respecting and giving the old school ways and all that, we are still evolving as a community. We are still evolving in the country that we are in. So we have to think a new thought to be in the new wave that's coming anyway. If we do not sit here and figure out how to mend our families, if there, everybody keeps saying they feel a shift. If there is something that is coming for us and we are not prepared as humans, as families, together, they can knock everybody down. Everybody. There are no tribes. There are no functioning, effective gangs. There are no nothing. Because everybody are fighting each other. Families fighting each other. I ain't never in my life, until I became an adult, saw GDs fighting each other. I didn't even think that was legal. And they law. I didn't know that was legal. I was told it wasn't. I always knew it wasn't, but that was just me. So if we can't even get the gangs to follow shit, the least you need to do is have harmony in your household. If you can't have the Lewis household, the Moore household, the Johnson household, if these households can't all be impenetrable, then what are we doing together? If these blocks, 71st Street, 79th Street, if 73rd Street, 72nd Street, if these streets if we're not standing at the brink of our street saying, no, you're not coming on our block, you're not doing this shit, and we can't stand with each other, and we gonna sit there and look out to them and say, ooh, look what happened to them. Ooh, look what happened to Miss Mabel down the street. That's crazy. And we not sitting here standing all together trying to make sure Miss Mabel don't get drugged out her house, they gonna come and get your ass next. And then if your family not even together, who coming to your crib? Who coming to your rescue? Who doing what? Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters? Even they not coming. You ain't been talking to them since 1969 or something, So we not gonna keep playing like this. It's okay to give your family space. It's okay to give your family a break. But the biggest thing you have to do in that relationship and in saving, especially because I know we want to save these relationships. I know we remember being so in love with our cousins. I know we remember being so in love with that one auntie and that uncle just oh, can I go spend a night at TT house? I know we want to mend these relationships, and we want to be like when we grew up and we was at Granny's house and it was always a barbecue and we didn't even know who we were celebrating that day and we just knew we was at Granny's house. You know what I mean? I know we all want to get back there, but you got to heal yourself and respect that everybody has trauma. Even respect that the generation that taught us to shut up, the generation that taught us, all the others, they had their own trauma too. Everybody got their own trauma, and it's for you to heal yours. You can't heal the next person's trauma. You got to heal your trauma in order for them to heal their own trauma, and then y'all can come together and heal y'all own. But if you're not healing yourself, if you're not working on yourself, and if you're not putting yourself forward first, then what are you doing? You can't make it to every event. If you know you don't like your cousin Keisha, or if you know when you talk about your cousin Keisha, like your stomach hurt, don't go to cousin Keisha's house. Stop playing with yourself. And stop disrespecting her. Because you really in her house and you don't like her. How about that? Like, if you know instantly when you hear about cousin Rissy, you going to start talking shit, don't go to her house. Don't go to her events. You work on yourself and you heal yourself and you figure out what's going on with you. And when you at the big events, you work on that relationship. But don't sit there and phony kick in people's houses. You can't go to every event. And I know you got that cousin that be like, man, cuz, I wish you was here. You my PIC. And we all got our PICs. You know what I mean? I got my cousin that he be waiting for me. But if I don't feel like I can go, I can't go. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to give yourself grace and knowing that you don't have to show up to every event. You don't have to show up to every party, every soiree. You don't have to show up to Anything. You know what I mean? Like, if the only thing you show up to in the next 2 years is your family reunion, you at least made it to the family reunion. That's okay. Your siblings, because I've been saying a lot of cousins, but your siblings, it's okay. And I know that hurts. Hey, I'm coming up to the end, but I am talking about siblings, so that's my sister, my best friend, my sister. Yeah, like your siblings, it's okay to tell your sister, it's okay to tell your brother, hey bro, we ain't gonna keep doing it, especially the ones who got the gaps. The ones who was like probably 10 years old when you was born, the ones who like was like 25 and your mama just was like, woo, here you go, you got a sibling. It's okay to tell them like, yo, I understand that you low-key old enough to be my parent, but you're not gonna talk to me crazy like that. Right? I love you, sister. I love you, brother. I appreciate you. Some of them probably raised y'all. Again, it's okay to say, y'all can't do that to me. It's okay to literally say, in my gut, in my spirit, I don't feel good. And I don't feel good when you talk to me like this. And it's okay to say it in a respectful way as well. You don't have to bug up on people. But, yo, it's time to tell these siblings, too. Like, I love my sister, and we have been through a lot. But I definitely, 2 years ago, I told her everything. I told her everything. Everything, anything that y'all had ever... If you had a conversation with me, y'all know how I feel about my sister. So, and she do, too. Period. You can't say I said something that I didn't say. Because I stand by everything I say. And I'll tell you I said it. And I'll tell you why the fuck I said it. Period. Like, you can't put words in my mouth. Like, I put enough in there myself. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell you exactly what the fuck I said. And I told my sister exactly what the fuck I said. You know what I mean? Like, and we got into an argument. We almost got into a fight. And I ain't want to get that riled up, but it had to be said. Like, it was tears. And it was tears, and it was like, whew. And her husband had to mediate and everything. Like, dead ass had to mediate for us and everything. But it was amazing. I have never felt like I had ever got so much off my chest before. Like, and our relationship has been for the better. But that's because I put that work in. I want me and my sister relationship to be better. I want her to love me. I want her to feel loved by me. I want the effort to be reciprocated. I want us to be able to come to a common ground. I want when we don't agree to something, we can agree to disagree. I want when I give my help to her, it's appreciated. I want when I'm giving help to her, she doesn't feel that I'm being overbearing. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be balanced. I want us to have that balance. I want my sister to be able to call me when she needs something. So, because that's the only blood sister I have to put in work. We put in work for this relationship. If I feel something is wrong, I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to say it. Because I love her and I want her in my life. And I feel like I can't heal in front of her, I take a break. When I feel like it's too much and I can't say what I gotta say because it's gonna hurt me, I take a break. Like, I'm tearing right now because it's a lot. But I don't get no fuck because that's my sister, bro. I'm gonna fight for my sister. I'm gonna fight for our relationship. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. She ain't put my life in danger. You know what I mean? Now, I ain't talking about them. You know, them sisters that put your life in danger and stuff like that. You gotta forget them. You got to forget them, but they do not have to be in your life. Nonsense. But yeah. Like, I will fight tooth and nail for my sister, though. Because everybody know, I talk shit about her, but you ain't gonna touch her. I might swing off her, too. But you ain't gonna touch my sister. You ain't gonna touch none of mine, period. But you definitely ain't touching my sister. Now, my big sister, everybody know how I'm coming about her. So, sisters, brothers, cousins, aunties, uncles, mamas, daddies, god mamas, god daddies. It's time, y'all. And it's okay. It is okay to be hurt. Let me tell you how I work. I have friends and I have certain family members that they're, and myself sometimes I'm like this, they're quick to be defensive instead of hearing what the problem is. So I know that I need to work with myself with this situation so then I can heal myself with it. So then when I come to you with it, however you respond, it's okay. I can handle it. That's fine. If you don't feel like you did anything wrong, you don't feel like you did anything wrong. That's fine. But I was able to get it off my chest and I feel like you did this. So then if you come back to me a little bit later and you say, okay, I kind of understand what you, okay, that's fine. We could work from there. We can go from there. You see what I'm saying? It's giving myself a break emotionally. It's not letting myself get hurt. And it's also giving my family member that grace to still be them. Because again, what do I say? Everybody is allowed to be who they need to be, want to be, and who they are. They just can't do it with me. So I'm giving you the grace and the room to be yourself. But I'm not going to sit there and allow you to disrespect me. You know, especially if I know I'm in the space of, you got me fucked up and I'm a bug up. No, because all I want to hear is accountability and that's it. So if I know that where I'm in, and this is me being accountable for me and my feelings. If I know that all I want to hear and all I need to see is accountability, then I'm going to come in a space where I know that either I'm not looking for accountability, and if I don't get the accountability, that's okay. Or I know that this is going to be a conversation where this person might be able to, and we can have a common ground. But you have to also be accountable for yourself. Sometimes we walk into conversations that we know was going to hurt us because we knew it wasn't time to talk. Give people a moment. Sometimes talking in that breath does not always give you the right perspective. Sometimes, again, we do not always know how we feel, especially in that moment. Sometimes we think we feel good. Sometimes we think we're sad, but we feel betrayed. Sometimes we think we're angry, but we feel disrespected. It's not that you need to understand. It's not that I'm telling you don't know who you are. You know who you are. You just need to be able to understand what you feel and the actual underlying true feelings of how you feel. So I've been on here for probably about an hour. And I appreciate all who popped in. This definitely will be played back so you can watch it. So I hope you guys really take the time and write out. We just came into a new moon. And you still have until tomorrow. It's Monday. The new moon was Sunday. So you have until tomorrow to manifest and release. So, you can release some. Don't ever release people. You can release hurt. You can release heartache. You can release bad habits. Burn it up. Release it. Let that shit go. And you can manifest and write down the type of relationships you want with your family. And write down. I definitely wrote it down. I'm not going to share it with you. But I definitely can say that I wrote down, a big happy family. And that we can commune with each other and enjoy each other's time. And it's not drama. And, we genuinely are, we're genuinely in love with each other in a familial sense, and that's kind of just the best part for me, that I feel like my manifestations are finally coming true. Like, we can all apologize and talk to each other, look each other in the eye and say, I love you. I love you. I love y'all little stinking goods, okay? You is annoying and I don't give a damn because I love you. That's what I mean. That's the best part. So write it down. Manifest it. You can manifest good relationships. You know what I mean? Pray about it. Ask God. God, I wanted my mother to be able to understand me. I want to be able to see eye to eye with my father. I want my father to be able to understand me and hear me. Lord, we are in two different fields. I want my parents to be able to understand where I'm coming from with my job and all that. Pray. God hears. Talk to your ancestors. They are on your side. They are helping you go to your goals. Tell them my goal is to be a better loving son. My goal is to figure out how to have a better relationship with my parents, a better relationship with my uncle, a better relationship with my godfather. Just ask, and you really will receive. But write it down. Write that down. Understand what you're asking for. I understand what you need to let go. It's okay. Journal that shit out. That's shadow work, baby. Let me tell you. Journaling it will get you so far. Write it out. Write it the fuck out. And whatever you want it to not ever be in your life again, burn it the fuck up to completion. You hear me? Whew. Period. Always you can use the white candle and write cleanse on it. But black candles, get rid of it. Sis. And always light yourself a candle for your ancestors, okay? So, I'm going to head on out of here. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your night. I hope the rest of your week is amazing. I hope that we are considering and looking through and combing through some of our relationships with our friends and our family, especially our family this weekend. This week and this weekend. Let me hear back from you, and how do you deal with your relationships with your families, and how do you deal with your relationships with your intermediate families and your families in your household, and how do you balance out taking care of you and showing up for yourself? What are your tips and tricks? Help everybody out. We a community, okay? So, in the words of my granddaddy, the late great Whitfield Lewis, I love you, and may the Lord bless you real good. And I hope you have a good old night. Love you. Bye, y'all.